My name is Josh Asham. I come from Pasco First Nation. That's out in Saskatchewan. It's really prairie based. It's if you've ever flown over, it's like kind of like a checkerboard or maybe a chess. It's all wheat. Growing up there's not much theater. I'll tell you that. There's barely any theater out there. There's probably one theater in Regina. I always wanted to do theater. I just never really had any. It just kind of like, when people like make fun of the drama kids and stuff like that. Well, that in Saskatchewan, times 10. So I was like, I don't think I'll ever like make it as an actor out this way. So I didn't really look that way. Not until recently, I guess. But I always wanted to do acting since I was like 6 years old. I told my grandma, I wanted to be an actor or actress after watching the movie Miss Congeniality from Sandra Bullock. Yeah, I was in love with her when I was growing up. I did a little study on her and a little movie study. What do you want to be? And then I told my grandma, I want to be an actress. And she looks at me, actor. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I was like 6 or something. And then time went on. I realized there's not much theater out in Saskatchewan. So I kind of like strayed away, just kept in my studies. Yeah, I guess that's kind of how that was. I didn't really look that way. I never really even thought about it. It was just a dream like I've always wanted to do, and I guess I'm here now, but it's different now. To see your piece come alive, to write something out just to write it out on your own and like see it come alive and like production, people, just, I don't know, it's exciting. It's kind of unreal and surreal in a way to see a story come alive. I give credits to everyone that works in production, because just as an actor, you're like, oh, this is gonna be easy. And then they're like, no, it's a lot of time. It's a lot of hours that go unseen. Like there's a lot that goes behind the camera that people don't really understand. And it's not just lights, camera, action. Doing it with colleagues, doing it with my fellow actors, made it so much easier because we all had a similar schedule. When I first got here, I was like, oh, I just want to do film. That's all I wanted to see, because that's all you see. But I watched my first live when I got here, my very first live theater, and I fell in love with live theater ever since then. The theatrical, it's more expressive, it's just more than film. Film is less in the face, more in the mind, more like oh, that person's thinking. You can tell when someone's thinking, kind of thing. Theater, it's more like, just yelling and being more expressive on the outside. Film's more expressive on the inside, I guess is how to say. It's a constant feeling of not knowing. Like going into an act and going into any kind of art, any type, it's always like a gamble. Because you never know if you're gonna make it or if you're not gonna make it. And who's to say what looks like what makes it, right? So I guess I was kind of like, the way I got into this, the way I see it is, I've been jumping job to job. I've done a lot of various different jobs, from welding to resource worker to cashiers to just random jobs. But I've always in the back of my head, I've always wanted to be an actor. I was kind of just fed up with like what I was doing. I was like, well, you know what? Maybe I'll just shoot my shot. Maybe who knows? Who's to say I'm gonna fail? The only person it would be me. The only person holding me back would be me. So I applied to this school out here in Toronto, got accepted. Actually, I got accepted last year, but I was afraid. I was like, moving to Toronto by myself, I'm just like some little prairie boy, and I'm really glad I did. It took me like a year to build that courage to come here, because all I could think of was like, oh, it's gonna be hard out there, Toronto, financially. It's Toronto, first of all. It's expensive. It's a lot going on here, but I'm really glad I did. So here I am now. I accepted. Oh, and then I asked my aunt to help me move here. I was like, can you lend me some money? I don't know what I'm gonna do. Just give me a little bit of money and I'll make it. I'll figure out. So I got accepted. As soon as I got here, they just gave me like $4,000 and they're like, make sure it lasts. I don't know what you're gonna do. I didn't have a place to live. I just flew here, bought a ticket, stayed at the airport for like 8 hours finding out a place to live. It means the world. I would not be able to be here without my family, first of all. My siblings, I love them. My grandparents, my aunts. Without them, I would not be able to do this dream on my own. Like, I just decided to like, you know what? Maybe I am worthy. Maybe I can do this. Maybe, I don't know. It's just a shot in the dark. And yeah, I'm glad I did, because term one, acting, I could not sit in front of a freaking camera without like being nervous or like forgetting my lines or like sweating to like right now I'm sweating just from lights, but like before I'd be sweating because I had to talk in front of people. I would get nervous, and I don't know, I guess the school has changed me a lot. And it's not just the school, it's about what you put into something. Like, I put myself full into this. I came here, I was like, okay, this is my shot, I gotta do something. I put my all into this, and the first 2 terms were scary and hard because I had to get used to being in front of camera, getting used to doing theater in front of people, and like, I think it's once you start getting over judgment of yourself and judgment of others, that's when you really start seeing the growth. And that's where I feel like I am right now. I'm finally at this place where I'm like, oh, I can do this. I've always wanted to do this. Now I'm actually doing it. So the accomplishment, I don't know. I feel great about myself. I love where I am, and I'm excited to see where this goes. Like, this is just the start. This is the foundation. And yeah, if you can just grasp, the more experiences you have as an actor, the better. Like life experiences especially, so you can grasp from those memories. I usually try to audition for characters that are more similar to me. Like, if there are characters that are kind of out of my thing, out of my range, then I got to do a lot of research and background checks, kind of like, it's method, that's when it becomes method acting, because then I gotta like start figuring out what this person likes, and then the story has to come together when I have to start writing a story, his own background. I allow the characters to take over, so it's just, I enjoy the moment right before action, because I'm getting into character, and then the thoughts are coming, everything feels smooth, and they say action, and then I walk on the stage, and that part right there is all of a sudden I have adrenaline, all of a sudden I have new life rushing through me, and like, I don't know, I guess that's the best part. You get more of a rush from theater, like, cause sometimes the audience will like join in with you, and they'll start clapping or something, and you could feel that good energy, like, you're like, oh, I'm doing something good, but you gotta remember not to break character. Like, you could feel the energy coming off the audience. And film, not so much. Not so much. It's just a lot of people looking at you while you're performing, and you're just like, all right. And in film, it's just like people are just like staring at you. And theater, at least they have expressions. They're like, oh